Hello and welcome again to the Contemplation Cafe. This is Paul, your host, and as always, I'm inviting you to come inside, pull up a chair, and have a think or two. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about initiative taking, but first, we're going to start with a story. I was reading a claims magazine some years ago. Yes, in insurance companies, some may make publications that are internal that are for those employees. So, this is a claims magazine, and it was written by a gal. She was new in this department and some of the early struggles that she was having. And she would frequently go and talk to her manager about what the right decision was in a certain case or how to handle a claim or whatnot. And finally, the manager pulled her aside and he said, "Look, I'm paying you to make decisions, and you've got this and this and these tools to do them with, and I'm paying you to make those decisions. I am your backstop. There is no mess you can make that I can't clean up." Now, that was a life changer for her. That totally changed the way that she saw her job. And knowing that her manager expressed such confidence and trust in her and empowerment totally changed the way she did her job. And that struck a chord with me also. I cannot tell you over my career how many times I didn't have someone who would say, "I'm going to back you up. I'm your backstop. There's no mess you can make that I can't fix." So I've had a couple, but not very many. And on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and share a story about initiative taking, because this kind of goes along with it. So sometimes companies will come down with their muckety mucks and whatnot, and they want to talk to the frontline employees, and they tell them, "Hey, we're going to do things different from now on. We're not going to look for ideas from the top. We want to hear from you, the frontline people. You're the customer-facing people. You're the in-the-field people. You're whatever. But we want to hear from you. We want your ideas. We want the initiative to what can we do next and be innovative," and all those cool little catchphrases. Now, some employees, they still don't care. They're like, "Well, whatever." But there are some, like yours truly, who get excited about that. It's like, "Oh, they really want to hear what I have to say? Cool, let's do it." And so then you come in, you're all excited, and you give them an idea, and then they just slam the door right down on top of you. And the problem is, what they didn't tell you when they came in there was they didn't tell you that, well, yeah, you can take all the initiative you want as long as it's within the confines of this teeny tiny little box that I am going to define for you. And that just goes to show a couple things. A, that was probably a check the box exercise for management, that there really was nothing for the employees. If anything, they may have turned around to their superiors and said, "Hey, we gave them the talk, we waved the pom-poms, and no one did anything. We can't help it. They're not motivated. They don't care, whatever." Then they move on to the next thing. Or it could also have been fear, because obviously if you open the gate and let the stallions out to run, because stallions need to run. You can't just keep them shut up in the stable all day. So if you open the gate and let the stallions run, might get a little bit messy, because the stallions can move pretty quick and they kind of get out there. So it could have been fear of losing control. And that's also not a good thing, either for the manager or the employees. And other ones, it can be control. That we've got some control freaks out there. Again, the ones that says you can only do inside the confines of this teeny tiny little box. And so I learned in those times that, if I ever got into management, I would really like to be like that one claim manager who told his employee that I'm your backstop. There's no mess you can't make that I can't clean up. And now that I'm in management, and I do have employees that report to me, I have tried to make that same philosophy available to them. It's like, "Hey, we want to make an omelet. We're going to break some eggs. And it's okay, because there's no mess you can't make that I can't clean up. There's nothing you can do that I can't fix." Said, just communicate with me, let me know what we're doing, and I'll give you all the room that you need. I'm the green light guy. I rarely say no unless I know it's something really outrageous, like, we're going to build a rocket ship out of the backyard. Okay. But otherwise, I'm pretty much the green light guy. I just pretty much say, let me know what you need. And that's the job. If you want people to be initiative takers, and we talk about that up here as the competencies that we value, or core competent, whatever your company says, but they value that. Well, if you're going to do that, you really have to do that. Don't say it if you don't mean it. So I've certainly let my employees know, let me know what you need, because that really is, I think, one of the jobs of management is we're clearing the road, we're laying the road, and if you come across a stump in the road, then you put your hand up and I'll come by with a 4-wheel drive and a chain or a stick of dynamite, and we'll get that stump right out of there so we can keep on going. And that's a lot of what management needs to do. Give people what they need, let them do the job that they're there to do, and then clear any obstacles that keep them from doing the job that they're doing. It's never on management to just prescribe some teeny little box and say, you can have all the room to run in as long as you just run inside here. Doesn't work that way. So if you are a member of management and that's the way you've been doing things, I'm going to encourage you to stop doing that. It's okay to admit to people that, hey, I don't like people doing that because it just scares the bee jabbers out of me. Well, it's okay to tell them you're scared. That's fine. It's an opportunity for you to grow as a manager. But by the same token, you as an employee, if you've been in that situation, I feel you. I totally apologize for it's just not cool. Bender done that, bought the t-shirt. And I really do hope that you'll reach out to your managers. And what I would suggest is if you're in an environment where they're doing that, give them a little something first. Test them out. See if they're genuine, or it's just a check the box exercise, or they're a control freak, or they're just scared. And give them a little bit and see what they do with it. And then if they let you do it, then come back around and give them a little bit more. Save that home run ball for later. And once you understand and know that they really mean what they say, then bring them the home run ball. Say, here we go. I'm the hero. Here it is. Make it happen. So I just wanted to share a little bit about that. Hopefully you find this encouraging and uplifting. I know sometimes we can talk about things that are rather serious and maybe have some tough love stuff, but hopefully this is a little more encouraging. So with that being said, thanks again for stopping by the Contemplation Cafe, and we'll see you next time.